The hardest trophy to win in sports is, it's not that easy. Let me break down the top contenders. I'll give you my pick and you can tell me if I'm crazy. The first is on the list is the World Cup. It's brutal because players hardly get any chances. The tournament only happens every 4 years. More than 200 nations enter qualifying, and even elite players might only get 1 or 2 real shots in their entire career. Sucks. Talent matters, but timing matters more. You need the right generation, the right draw, the right moment. One mistake can end years of preparation. The Lombardi Trophy has its own argument. The NFL postseason is the harshest single elimination format in major sports. There are no series, no time to adjust, and no margin for a slow start. 1 turnover, 1 weather shift, 1 minor injury at the wrong moment, and that's the season. The league is built so that teams stay pretty even, so even the best teams rarely get repeat chances. Winning 1 Super Bowl is hard. Winning multiple in the modern NFL is, it can be close to impossible. So, also, if you include endurance sports in this, the Tour de France belongs there, I think. It's 3 weeks, thousands of miles, constant climbing, there's crashes, heat, illness, daily recovery demands that most athletes, don't have to deal with. Even the strongest cyclists can lose the entire race because of 1 bad day or a crash, 1 infection, It's a championship built on attrition and physiology as much as strategy or training or talent. And sure, we could talk about the NBA, but let's be honest, half the fun of basketball is watching grown men pretend that they've been shot every time they get bumped. No, they're amazing athletes, but let's not kid ourselves. If flopping was a trophy, the NBA would be undefeated. So yeah, not the hardest trophy to win. Don't at me. Don't be mad at me for that one. With all of that laid out, if I had to choose 1 trophy only as the absolute hardest to win, I'm going to choose the Stanley Cup because the structure requires the highest sustained performance over the longest, most physically punishing stretch with the most variables that can go wrong. The Cup has one of the lowest rates of regular season dominant teams actually winning the championship. So I think that tells you everything about how unforgiving that the path to the Stanley Cup truly is. Hockey's playoffs are 2 months of absolute war. You need 16 wins over 4 best-of-7 series playing every other night. And, the guys in the playoffs, they are playing through broken bones. Their teeth are getting knocked out by pucks. They take a slap shot to the face. They spit a couple of chiclets. They get stitched up and they jump right back out on the ice. They are, they're just so motivated toward the Cup. It's the absolute childhood dream, and these guys are tough. They play through everything they absolutely can. They're not just tough, they're kind of crazy. They stand in front of the net while defensemen cross-check them in the back, slash them in the legs. And that's just a normal shift. It's even more intense in the playoffs. So no other major sports team, I don't think, has this level of constant and accepted, violence. So this isn't a once a week collision like in football. It's every other night at higher speeds on skates with sticks in hand. And the expectation for these guys to take hits and to be tough is higher than I think in almost any other sport. So, it's a contact sport with a weapon. And travel. By the finals, you're flying back and forth across the continent every 2 nights. You're playing through jet lag, bruises, fatigue. Football plays once a week. Hockey players, play way more than that. They're out there every other night in a 2-month marathon, right? So I just think that it is incredibly tough. They're like gladiators. So yeah, that's why I think that the Stanley Cup is the hardest trophy to win. It's not just about skill. It's about surviving a gauntlet that leaves you, with broken bones and missing teeth and exhaustion that you just don't get in most other sports. So in the end, the toughest team is the one just still standing. That's why I love it. That's why I love to watch. There's so much passion in the game. What do you think? That's my pick. Do you disagree? Do you think I'm out to lunch? Let me know. Fansplain me in the comments.